So we bought a house in March. It has been nothing but pain. Probably asking why I'm in a closet right now, and it's because I'm hunting. I'm hunting for something. There's something that I'm looking for. It's trying to hunt me, but I'm trying to hunt it. I'm talking about, of course, bed bugs. Now, I haven't moved everything in the house yet. It's still, I got little things here and there and stuff, and that's mainly because I had to paint the walls and I had to put new carpet in because the old carpet was just hideous. Also, the people that I bought this house from on the day of signing or closing, they left this place ransacked. And so probably about a month later, after we finally got the paint and the carpet down and all that stuff, finally ready to move a bed in here or a couch or something, so we can start staying here. But my father gave me a mattress, and I noticed that there was well, this is my daughter's room, and she said, Dad, there's a bug on my bed. And I said, okay, well, don't worry about it. It's more scared of you than you're scared of it, that type of shit. But she called me again. I was in the middle of doing some plumbing over here. Yeah, that's another thing. But I went in there, and probably about maybe a couple feet away from her, I saw it. I saw a bed bug. Crazy. Now, I've had bed bugs before. Me and her mom lived in an apartment complex, and it was a nightmare, let me tell you. It wasn't no exterminator comes once and that's it type of deal. It got bad. It got bad that the exterminators, they weren't really listening to me because I had told them that we had went to the neighbors downstairs. We went to their apartment. Chelsea was friends with them. Well, not friends, but if you go down there and, shoot the shit sometimes, they smoke a cigarette, whatever. But she went there one time and she came back up and she said, I'm never going back down there. And I was like, why? She was like, there's blood stains everywhere. There's bed bugs literally crawling on the couch and stuff. And the people downstairs had a daughter as well. And I've always felt sorry for the kid, man, because the parents we could smell a strong chemical smell in the bathroom through the vents. We always hear them arguing all the time. They were always up at weird late hours in the night, that type of thing. So anyway, I said, okay, well, that must be where the bed bugs are coming from, because I don't know. My daughter had just been born, so I was like, maybe we brought them from the hospital, maybe. I mean, it's not unheard of. And so I'm thinking about this, and the exterminator guy comes over and he says, no, that wouldn't be the case. They don't usually, they don't roll like that, man. And I'm like, okay. He was like, you brought him in somehow. And I was like, okay, whatever. And so he gets to spraying and stuff, and we got to put everything in these bags and grab the cats and stay over a relative's house for about 4 hours. You know, while they go in and they spray and stuff. And they did that twice. They did it once, and then in 2 weeks it came back and they did the same thing again. And you know, for a time, things kind of chilled out a little bit, but they were still they were never fully eradicated. They still kept coming. And so after a month of still getting bit, I'm like, what's the deal, man? You're like, oh, they're still coming? Okay. And so they come out because we got this warranty from them, and so they came back out and they were going to do another extensive treatment. And the guy, the exterminator, is this time he's like, it's a different guy, but he's kind of shocked at what he sees because I took matters in my own hands because I didn't like getting bit. I'm not going to sit here and just be cool with getting bit all fucking night. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry, you know. So he walks in and everything with legs like this had cups in them, followed by tape, double-sided tape, and right in the groove there, I had a very small amount of diatomaceous earth, and that was fucking the bed bugs up left and right. I would go and check like almost routinely, like every morning, like I would see what I caught, you know. And I didn't stop at that. Like I ended up going to the grocery store and I got some yeast, and I started growing that in 5-gallon buckets and shit like that, and then siphoning the carbon dioxide into shot glasses, things like that. And I would put this rough tape on the outside of the shot glass, and then when they crawled into the glass, when they got to the very tip, the very lip of the shot glass, they would slide into diatomaceous earth and be fucked up. And I had quite a few of these traps. I had a trap like that in every room. And so this guy tells me, he's like, you're the first, I've heard of people doing this stuff, but you're the first I've ever seen that's done this. And he was like, does it work? I was like, yeah, I mean, I think it could be a lot better. But I mean, what am I gonna do, you know? You know, the yeast can't really pump out as much carbon dioxide as a human being, so, you know, bed bugs are gonna go to the bigger source naturally, you know. I guess the yeast traps were just to get the little tiny ones, or the dumb ones, I guess. I don't know. But it was working, and so he treats again, and he's like, I'm going to show you where these eggs are, because there's definitely something weird going on. And he looks everywhere. I follow this guy all over the place. No eggs. I mean, he looked everywhere. Under the vents, in the light sockets, fucking, if there's wooden frames and stuff like that, he'd looking between there. Like, he looked everywhere. And he was like, I can't find the eggs. He looked on the couch. He looked under the bed. He looked everywhere. And I just, you know, just sat there and yeah, I know. He's like, what do you mean you know? I was like, because I told you guys last time that it's the neighbors downstairs that they're coming from. And the exterminator told me again that, nah, bro, it don't work that way. And I said, all right. As long as you ain't charging me an arm and leg to do this shit, we'll take her cats and the bags and the dryer and all this fucking shit, you know. For a little bit, with the traps that I had and the other, you know, with on top of the third treatment, I was finally able to get some peace. Finally. And then one day, like, we had gotten a new couch and everything, but one day, I got bit again. And I said, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And by this time, my body was really responsive to the bites. Like, sometimes it takes like 14 hours or something for a bump to appear. My body was getting used to their bites. So one could bite me, and then maybe 10 seconds later, like I would feel the itch and look, and I would see a fucker crawling over, you know. So that happened. And so I look and I see the bed bug like on the couch. And he's trying to go somewhere. And so I follow the son of a bitch. And I look behind where the seat's at. There's like this Velcro shit. And underneath the Velcro little flap area was the mechanics of the couch, because it was a recliner and all that stuff. And I pull that Velcro back, and I saw the eggs. I saw the eggs. Now remember, the exterminator didn't find, he checked the couch, but he didn't see anything. So what had happened was the bed bugs that were coming up from the vents decided, yo, let's start a big happy family here. And I said, fuck that. I threw the couch out. I sprayed on it and said, you know, bed bugs, all this shit. And we got the fuck out of that apartment complex. I told them, I called the apartment manager and landlord, whatever. I'm like, these guys downstairs got bed bugs, man. And if you don't do something, like, it's going to spread. And it's like, you know, they got all pissy with me and they said, like, well, it's on you to... It's not up to us because bed bugs are not treated as a pest. I mean, well, they are treated as pests. She was pretty much saying, like, they don't got to do shit about it because bed bugs are not known to cause any diseases or anything like that. But I counter argue that because bed bugs can cause psychosis in certain people, including myself. Like, I was fucking going crazy. I was bed bug crazy. Every day of my life was fixated and focused on bed bugs. I didn't care about cars. I didn't care about pussy. I didn't care about getting money. I didn't give a fuck about none of that. All I wanted to know was, how can I fight against these bed bugs? Where do they come from? You know? Where does their story start? What role in the circle of life do these fuckers play in, you know? What kind of predators do they have? Do they have any? Why us? Why do they like us so much? Can they survive outside? You know, I had so many questions. And I'm reading, this is before AI was getting all crazy and stuff. I was reading actual, like, academic papers and shit. Like, I had reached out to college professors, one in Rutgers. Not Rutgers. Damn it. That college out in New Jersey, I forget what the fuck. Reuters or some shit. And then another one in UC Irvine, asking questions. Like, I had ideas, that I haven't seen solutions like the ideas that I had online or anything. So anyway, I threw the mattress out today. Fast forward to today, and I thought my dad gave me a bad mattress, but I plugged this one up, and then I saw those little black specks. And that's the cover right there. It's filthy. Yeah. I knew what it was. I knew immediately what it was. So I went around and started taking them off, and this room seems to have it really bad. So they were in the outlets. Okay, because remember, the people they left, they moved out. So that tells me that they left bed bugs here. Because if we had them, they would be in my shit. And I checked everything, and like on the wood here and all that. I didn't see nothing. But what I did see? Let me get this out of the way. Oh. Put you guys on game a little bit. Here's what I did see. I saw that. That's a sign. That's a huge sign. I think they're on the bottom too. Yeah, they're on the bottom as well. I mean, these guys, they were getting busy. So one thing that me and the exterminator agreed on is that I don't usually. They don't be going in the light sockets unless it's two things going down. One is you got a really, really bad infestation, or two, you try to self-treat yourself with one of those fucking fogger bomb things. Don't do the fogger bomb things. Don't do it. Do not do it. Some of you might even say, like, well, I did it and it worked. But the risk is too high. The risk is too high, because all that fogger really does is the ones that are able to get away. They go in places. They just go deeper into the house. They go in places where you don't think about them. Like they might as well not even be called bed bugs anymore. They might be called wall bugs. They might call door bugs. They might be called hey, I'm hiding in some fucking trim bug, For real. But this room is where this is where I think, Adam and Eve and bed bug genealogy happened here. Now, I didn't see anything over here in the living room, but I'm not gonna, just because I didn't see anything, I'm not even gonna say, yeah, we're clear. I don't trust it. Here's another door here. You don't see that much, but let's okay. There's some there. Just a little bit, but not a lot. You know, so it starts to disperse. It doesn't become as dense anymore. So whoever was living in that room, I mean, that had to suck. The people who had this house had 5 fucking kids, so, you know, I think 3 kids lived over there, and 2 lived in this room. But I saw some signs there. I already put the plates back up, but there's like a little hole in there, a little tiny hole, and I got my pick tool, and I started taking bed bugs out of there, man. I mean, it sounds fucked up, but I mean, that's just how it is. Now, I'm not doing the whole yeast thing. What I'm doing right now is I'm just sitting here. I'm just standing in rooms waiting for them to come out because my daughter was on her bed no more than 5 minutes, and she's calling out, yo, bugs on the bed. And I saw 2 of them on the bed. And we had the lights on. It was in broad daylight. When the bed bugs start coming at you like that, that means they're super hungry. They haven't ate in a long time. And they're hungry. Usually bed bugs are, you know, they'll wait and the lights are off and they'll come out. But if they want a meal, and I learned that the hard way in the old place, I debunked that myth. I stayed up with the lights on. I slept with all the lights on. And I ended up falling asleep. And I woke up and there's a bed bug looking at me in the fucking face. Bright as hell. I wore one of those, like, what do you call them? Those little sleep, not mask, but the little sleeper blind thing you put over your eyes. And, yeah, so if they want it bad enough, they will come out. It doesn't matter if it's night or day. They will come out. Now let's see here. Now this room, which is my room, this has the less, which makes sense, but we did see some evidence. Right there, and then another little spot. It's kind of lumpy. I can take my fingernail and scrape that off. That's, you know, that bug waste. So it makes sense. So Adam and Eve started here. Things were getting a little crazy over there. So some left the party and went over here. But some even, you know, just like the Neanderthal, they took the chance and came here. So I don't think that's anything. But yeah, I'm gonna stop ranting, but I just I am traumatized by them. I don't like them. 3 things I hate the most: it's bed bugs, ticks, and what is it, scabies. I hate mosquitoes too, but you know, those 3 that I talked about, they're more like parasites, you know. They live by you, they live on you, Yeah. That's it for tonight. I'm getting out of here. I'm taking my clothes off in the shower, looking for bed bugs that might be on me. And I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'll come back tomorrow.